We're here at the E3 show floor at the Square Enix booth, talking to Tor Blustad, the game director of Hitman Absolution. We just saw a pretty cool demo, but I wonder if you could give us kind of a general overview of the game.
Well, it's Hitman Absolution is the 5th game in the series, and it's a more personal game than before. It's the storyline is based very much around 47 himself and the journey he takes through the game. And we had kind of free hands to make the Hitman game we really wanted to make. So we started from scratch with a brand new engine, building new technology for every part of the game, basically picking apart all the mechanics, putting it back together again, making new render, and especially on the AI side, since this is a very open game in the way that the player can choose to do whatever he wants. So we needed an AI that was very flexible and able to deal with any kind of situation the player would kind of dish up.
Well, is this going to be open world, or is it going to follow the same mission structure as previous Hitman games and have a little, freedom within that structure?
Well, we believe that, the openness is it's not as big as the GTAs or Red Dead Redemptions, because for us it's more like the microcosms of a small area where you're still walking around on foot, right? So everything is closer. It's we pay a lot of attention to every character, so every character can have their own stories to tell, and they all have their separate names and everything within the game.
Okay, and it was mentioned in the demo that you've had to redesign the AI completely. Can you tell us a little bit about what you had to do and what it does now that's so different?
Yeah, basically in the old games the AI was very kind of black and white. You can say that they saw through your disguise or they didn't. Now it's far more grayscale everything. So what we call an intelligence spectrum, where the AI has they have hundreds of possibilities of what they can do, and they also have a lot bigger brains, so they can take a lot more decisions both on their own, and they can also coordinate between them. So if they can kind of piece together information, if they find a gun lying, they find a dead body, and they see 47 running away, they can kind of piece together that there is something fishy going on, and they should probably be on the lookout for someone bald in a suit.
I'm sure that other people have been comparing the game to Arkham Asylum with the instinct and it looks more like there's more verticality in climbing than in previous Hitman games. Hey, is that accurate? Was that an influence at all, or?
Well, not directly. Arkham Asylum is a great game, but it's a very different type of game with the Batman. The fact that we're showing a level that is more vertical like this, it's kind of coincidental, but he's more agile than ever before, but he's not doing parkour or stuff like that. It's also kind of coincidental because we found out when we made our AI so much more powerful, the player was kind of left behind because they would be able to outmaneuver him pretty easily. So we needed to give him some tools also to be able to cope with this more complex behavior, and also because we wanted to get rid of some of the trial and error gameplay of the old games, because they were very punishing. If you kind of tried out on your own without really knowing what you did, you would get killed numerous times before you kind of made your way through a section. So we made the instinct, which is basically kind of be able to sense people in your near environment and predict where they will be going. So it means that you can basically, as you go along, if you use the instinct feature, you can also you can make your move towards the game before you get kind of ambushed by the NPCs. If you use the instinct together with disguises, which is a very big feature for us, then we needed to find a way to make sure that the player understood that they actually bluffed their way past. So a way that we were experimenting with now is that you can kind of hear what they're thinking as you walk past them, and it's interesting in the way that we can put a lot of storytelling into that, but it gets a little more supernatural. But it's more about what 47 can kind of sense that they think about him.
I think that about does it. Can you tell us more or less when it's coming out?
Hitman Absolution is coming out in 2012 for Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, and PC.
All right, awesome. That's one of our MVG nominees. Keep an eye out for it next year.